Hi, this is Jack Carty, and welcome to the final check-in of Low Power Mode levels 11 through 15. For this final check-in, I took a long look at my levels and tried to improve on things that work, get rid of things that didn't work, and overall just tried to make a more fluid experience. And those changes led to the product that you see today. But first, a little background to how we got here. I initially made Low Power Mode with the intention that the environment would tell a story. And the story being told for these 5 levels is that evil robots are being made in this factory and shipped throughout the world. To properly communicate this, I designed these levels to mimic a factory's production line and machinery. Level 11 depicts raw materials being dropped off and broken down, level 12 being where those materials are melted down, level 13 being where the robots are actually assembled, level 14 is where those robots are infused with sentient rust, and level 15 being where those robots are shipped throughout the world. Now, since I already had 10 levels made for this game, it wasn't hard to establish a scale. I actually made these levels a bit shorter than the previous 10 so they would only represent one stage in the production line. Once I had my level sketches complete, I was able to make quick blockouts of my levels using some art assets that I'd already developed, mixed with some solid blocks. Once this was done, I created graphics and movement patterns for some of these new assets, along with adding sound effects, as that was one of the crucial bits of player feedback that I hadn't yet implemented. With this bit of player feedback implemented, I moved on to a new feature, depth. To make this work, I added parallax scrolling to the background, letting it move along with the player, making it seem like there's a whole lot more to this factory that the player hasn't explored yet. In addition, I added sprites that tell the player where obstacles are about to drop, giving them a chance to prepare, and not get bombarded by obstacles they couldn't have prepared for. Similarly, I fixed what was a blind leap of faith in level 12, as the player wouldn't have known what to do otherwise. I then got to adding what I designed these levels around in the first place, the robot production line. I created 3 different evil robot sprites for different stages of assembly, and when those pieces collide with certain other sprites, the robot is slowly assembled. With the levels and aesthetics completed, I moved on to the final step, which is simply to add a layer of polish. This ranged from simple art changes to actual layout choices that I realized didn't work. These changes include lowering the height of level 15's ending platform, as the jump was nearly impossible to make. Changing the speed at which obstacles moved along the conveyor belts to about the speed that the player moves, so they wouldn't have to constantly move back and forth. Slow down the rate at which certain obstacles spawned, because the player could hardly move if they wanted to avoid them all. Getting rid of some obstacles that limit the player's movement, and adding new animations to the smokestacks in the background. I don't think I've worked on any other project that's made me balance design, art, and programming as much as this one has, and knowing how to balance all of those things is knowledge that I'll no doubt be using in the future. Another key lesson I learned was how to see the game you're developing through the eyes of the player. When I was testing this game, there were certain obstacles and areas that I was having trouble with. Now, I'm the person who made the game and designed these things to be this way. If I'm having trouble with this, how will players know how to go about it? That's what led to many of the endgame changes that led to simplifying and refining how many of the systems functioned. Overall, this was a really fun experience, and I'm glad that I was able to continue working on this game. I thought these levels were just going to teach me about level design, but they ended up teaching me so much more, and I'll definitely be using them as a reference point for future projects. Thank you for watching, and it was a joy to make these. See you around.